Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here. If you're a new gazer, welcome. If you're a returning gazer, hi guys, hope you're doing all right. This reading is going to be for the sign of Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, or anywhere else you find it in your chart. It's good for whenever you find it. Let's just take a deep breath. Ancestors, spirits, guys, what messages would you like for Aquarians to know? Ooh, 10 of Swords. Page of Swords. I'm holding the deck upside down. I'm just going to show you guys. But as that comes out, look at who's on the bottom. It's you, baby. I'm trying to stay out of that bright light because that light's all yours. Look at that. The star on the bottom. It's you. It's like 10 of Swords, Page of Swords. All of this mentally vibing energy here. Ancestor spirits, guys. Really, Ace of Swords. Wow, you're really thinking about this. The Magician. 9 of Cups. You know, it's like you're coming from space. This is beautiful, Aquarius, because this is manifesting something beautiful out of something that kind of sucked, and you're really bringing that into the fold here. What? No, it's not them. Ancestors. 3 more cards, please. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. 5 of Swords. Absolutely. Let's see. And then on the bottom, the Moon and Justice. Wow. 7 of Cups on the bottom. It's like you have so many options available to you right now. You can't even see what they all are. You're creating this. Something happened, right? Done and over with, something from the past. This card is a card of betrayal. This card is a card of hurt. You know, 10 swords down, you can't get any more done than that. And it's got that like Caesar quality about it, where there's a bunch of people saying, come together, we want to talk to you about this, or a situation that perpetually told you that it was good for you, and then turns out it wasn't. You know, he shows up at the Senate and they all take a turn stabbing him in the back. And that's kind of that feeling like, what happened, right? If this has happened to you, it's already happened, and you know where this is coming from. And what it did was it sparked a bit of inspiration in you, like angst. What you did was you alchemized that into the catalyst for movement, for change, for manifestation, right? This is the Magician energy here. Okay, and this talks about manipulation as well. And again, about that feeling of being manipulated, of having people kind of mess with the mind, right? And 5 of Pentacles, what happens is somebody got left out. And I think that both parties did. You left them out of what you're doing next, and their aim was to leave you out of what they had going on. But what they didn't know was that it emboldened you, it empowered you. Granted, you know, you had to think about this, right? And it didn't mean that the argument was completely over, or that the competition had been completely squashed. We're going to see that coming up here. Information coming through. Page of Swords. Curiosity. Right? Investigating something, somebody passing along a little bit of information. This is communication on a small scale, or and like I say, like an immature, but it doesn't have all of the information yet, and that's why it's like gaining it. And what's really interesting here is the way that the Page of Swords and the 10 of Swords kind of resemble one another. It's like, what did you learn from this, and what more is there to learn? 9 of Cups. About your wishes, hopes, and dreams, what's meaningful to you, what it is you're actually fulfilled by, what it is that you want, right? And going after it, and there being a sense of, again, of competition. 5 of Swords. You know, the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles here, but the 10 of Swords. The old past thing is done and over with, and it's manifesting into something new, and there's a competitive energy here. And here comes the kicker for you, is that you got the truth. You got the victory coming through. The things that you learned are helping you push along what it is that you'd like to manifest, right? You get this is the yes, this is the go ahead. And you start moving slowly but surely. Again, page energy. And both of these pages, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, are about learning. They're about knowledge, right? This one, the Page of Swords, is about that curiosity. The Page of Pentacles is about learning. It's about being the student, right? And putting those things into practice that you're learning. The outcome of this is coming out is the Moon and Justice, major arcana, both of them here. All right, you've got Libra and Pisces. Both of them have to do with two sides of something. The Moon says that there are things that are hidden, things that are still hidden, things that are still unknown. The Justice card talks about bringing them into balance, right? And finding that even keel, karmic rebalancing, right? Oh, let's get some clarifiers and dig a little bit deeper into this. Ancestors, spirits. Can you please tell us about this Ten of Swords, please? Three of Pentacles had to do with your work. Could have had to do with something that you had mastered. And there's that, like, the teacher and the student. Here's the teacher. You learned a lot from this. Not just about, like, people and their not so great tendencies sometimes, but you really learned a lot about mastering your game, mastering your work. There was a sense of teamwork. Again, this has to do with a lot of people, right? More than just you. And it was, yeah. And people looking up to you and you looking up to people. And I think that that could be part of why, you realize that you're bigger than this, that you're capable of more, that the resources available to you are in your hands, right? Magician energy here. Magician energy is mercurial. It means Mercury, the planet Mercury, the hermetic principles, the spirit who brought the Egyptians their language, written language, taught them so many things. He had the tools available to him. He knew how to do those things. He taught others how to implement them and turn them into the real, right? So it's Virgo, Gemini, and Aries. What is this magician doing here? Six of Wands. The Magician is bringing in success, and I can help but peek on the bottom for that is the Tower. The Tower is just a little, the bottom card for this is just informing this a little more as the train comes through. Victory, success, and again, being noticed and recognized by the community, by the people around you, by the people this affected, your work team, your I heard soul tribe, right? People saw this, and that could be why it was a bit threatening to maybe the others in the group, maybe the others involved here, maybe the competition, right? They could see the power of manifestation and how capable you are. What I heard, what a good idea this is. All right, Five of Pentacles, please. Five of Pentacles, please. There's that Tower, you guys, with the Ace of Cups on the bottom. When we get the Five of Pentacles, I often say, we don't sit at a table you're not invited to. Don't go try to get in a place where you aren't welcome, because that's not where you're supposed to be. The universe has more for you out there, right? There's bigger, better things for you. And that's also why you're understanding. See, there's again this idea of like separation, like us and them, like being on the outside of it and having like a higher perspective, being able to see and kind of feeling like trapped in that, because I heard goons, there's like people around kind of, monitoring, making sure that you stay within the boundaries that they would like to keep you in. And you're shocking them because you're like, no, this is my work. This is what I've worked hard for. This is what I've learned. It's your talent, Aquarius. You are the one. You are the star. And you got to lead the way. And I think that they, again, there's like this feeling of being, you'd think that would bring you into the fold. You'd think that your intelligence and your capabilities would make you a more welcome soul. But by people who are jealous of that, it kind of makes you more of a target. It's because they want what you have, but they don't want you to have it. All right. Page of Swords. I think that you're really, really gathering a lot, and it's sparking more questions for you. And what it's making you do is see what it is you actually need and want to fulfill you. What is this Page of Swords? Who is this Page of Swords? What is this about? Three of Swords, you guys. And look. And those little messages being passed. Those little backstabbing things, Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. And now there is an element of triangulation amongst the people involved with the work being done. Please excuse my nails. So I was doing yard work. I did not paint them yet, repaint them yet. Yeah. It's like here's two. It could be like two people working together and someone saying, hey, do you know what's going on in the background? You know, I'll let you know what's happening. Somebody keeping you informed, right? I feel like someone's passing along some information to you that's going to be very, very informative. And you got to watch that too, because anybody that you're sharing information with could be sharing it with the others in the background, right? There's definitely some things going on. This is about knowing who you can trust and who you can't trust, right? And when it comes to work, that's often the case, right? Trade secrets, what's going to happen next, all of those things. And never forget that you're the one with the golden key here. You're the one with the talent. You're the one with the idea, and you're the one who's going to be able to take, and you know, they can't take that away from you. And I think that you are exiting, right? What is the Nine of Cups? What are you learning here? What do you want? What is your soul after it? Right at, I saw 1121. You want success. You want movement. You want travel. You want to be able to go places. It's interesting too. Is this like the Four of Swords? Like hurry up and sit still. You want the success. Look at that Chariot and Nine of Cups. This is revolving around your wishes, hopes, and dreams, but also your mobility and your ability to follow through on things in this arena without that internal argument within yourself. This is Cancer energy. It talks about home, like driving yourself home. And that's not necessarily, I mean, maybe you are, you know, but it's about where your heart space is. Like this light. Sorry about the light. What is the Five of Swords? And then there's this two cards of success here, two cards of victory, three cards of getting your wishes, the Ace of Swords, the Chariot, and the Nine of Cups. But there's this element, again, underlying of like winning at all costs, of fighting, of maybe jealousy, because we have the Five of Swords here. What is this Five of Swords? It's like these cards are sticking and they don't want to, right? Four of Wands. And again, that idea about home, and Nine of Pentacles on the bottom to inform that a little bit better. That 5 to the 4. The thing you're starting next, the celebrations, the people around you. Okay, so whoever, there's a celebration about this victory. And again, not everybody is happy about it, but you certainly are. There's this idea here of, let them watch. You are winning again and again and again and again. And when that happens, it's like you're leveling up and like new things are being thrown in your way. And I think that you are deciding where your home is, where your heart is, right? So where does your heart actually want to be? Where does your heart feel at home? I'm gonna try to fix this. See, it's because the lights are battling this. The indoor lights are battling the sun because the sun is so beautiful right now. Wow. Just try to brighten it up in here a little bit so we can see. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. Double yes. Starting something new, information coming through, information being offered, and inspiration being accepted. Look at that. Do you see that? Ace, ace. Yes, yes. Because this information has really lit a fire under you. It's really, again, inspired you. And it's the truth. The things that are coming through are the truth. And it's letting you move forward. Right, invest. I heard invest. Page of Pentacles. Slow and steady. I know air signs want to move forward fast, especially you guys, because you see the future where we don't, where the rest of us don't. You see the possibilities. You know, you can understand the tech before we do. So you've got that vision. And you also understand right now, because of all of these things that you've learned, that slow and steady is the way to go. Knight of Pentacles, the Death card with this Page of Pentacles. Complete transformation. And again, going from the Page to the Knight, the learning the information, the Student card, right? And then taking that action and moving slow and steady. Careful steps. Careful steps. Because that other thing is over and done with. Ten of Swords coming out. The Death card coming out, confirming that the transformation has occurred, that the rebirth is here. It's a scorpionic energy. All right. Interesting too, because the whole middle row here is where these major arcana are assisting to ensure. Interesting. What is this Justice in the Moon? What is the Justice in the Moon doing? Wow, you got Five of Pentacles over here. You got Five of Pentacles over here. Three of Wands is the overarching energy for the whole reading. We'll talk about that in just a second here. Five of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Moon. It feels like there are some things, some underlying things going on in the background underneath. Maybe there are even some emotional things about this transformation. And when it does occur, you know, there's a bit of a sadness here. That's it, kaput. Like they're not invited. You're not invited. This thing is over and done with. Maybe that thing is gone. It's not coming back. It will never be the way that it was before. And you know, even though there's this feeling of maybe not having enough to go around, there will be, okay? It's just the way that it's feeling right now. Justice is here, and you're waiting to see what options are available to you. And in that time, there's a lot of confusion. Three of Wands with the Seven of Cups. Talks about waiting for our ships to come in, and when the ships come in, what's on them? You know, what is their cargo? What are they carrying? What is it that you need? And with the Nine of Cups in the center here, with your wishes, hopes, and dreams in the center here, it's telling you to look within and be mindful of what your emotional self is telling you, because your heart is going to want to go away a certain direction, right? And your head is going to be telling you that it's more logical to go in this direction. And when your head and your heart both want to go in that same place, that Chariot drives a lot easier, right? It's going to be like driving to your new home, finding something out, finding out that you're like moving through that space after coming through all of this, right? Oh, I'm being afraid that maybe you don't have enough because the other thing is done and over with. And I just want you to know that Spirit wants you to know that you have more options available to you than you could ever imagine. It's important to know what you want, so when those options show up, you know which ones to pick. All right, ancestor spirits, what archetypes will help? What archetypes should they be mindful of? Positive and negative, light and shadow. Addict. Wow. It says helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. That means within yourself and others, okay? Because sometimes people, especially people who are in it for the competition and not necessarily for the sport of the game, or people, you can get addicted to that fight or get addicted to that worry, right? I mean, it helps you recognize those things and what needs to be let go of, right? Shadow compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your spirit. Don't let anything have authority over your spirit that isn't you, right? You and your spirit guides. And even at that point, you have free will. So you get to choose what you allow to control you, your thoughts, what direction you're taking, right? And that's really important right now, and it's important to be mindful of that, of others too. And there's Nine of Cups and Chariot card with this coming out. I'm just going to warn you, do not drink and drive. Do not take substances and get behind the wheel. And if someone else is doing that, don't get in the car, take their keys, right? This is your PSA, your public service announcement from TarotGazing channel is coming out with the Nine of Cups and the Chariot. We got to be mindful of that, okay? Do what you're going to do. Do what you want to do. Again, you have free will, but Spirit is keeping that in mind. It is telling you to be aware of that, right? Okay, well, one more, please. Another archetype for vampire. Listen, when you get addict and vampire, there is definitely Ten of Swords, three of Swords. You're learning something about how much this is draining you. Makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Shadow, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. And again, that's why sometimes it's really, really important to set those boundaries, right? And to be honest with ourselves about what we're seeing in the behaviors of others and in the situations. And if that's bad contracts, or if that's poor behaviors, if that's toxic things, we have to be mindful of that. And I think that that's what this is telling you, because you have all of this available to you. You've done so much work. You've learned so much. And that makes you a very sweet, delectable treat for narcissists and for soul sucker vampire energy, right? So be mindful of that. What's it say on the bottom? Pioneer. Yes, Aquarius. You got so much to do here. You got a lot to do here. It's passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Shadow attribute. Compulsive need to keep moving on. In this case, I would say, yes, please move on from toxic people, toxic behaviors. Right? Vampiric energies, people who are addicted to your good works, to your good deeds, to your good energy and juju, right? If it's draining you, if it's taking more than you're receiving back, right? This is about having to set up those boundaries. That's the Justice in the Moon, okay? Right, animal spirits. What messages do you have? Would you like to tell, Aquarius? Ooh, okay, we got 4 came out. It says tend to the small things. Tend to the small things. I heard the devil's in the details. So be aware of that. And they go with the Page of Swords energy, the little things, right? Page of Pentacles energy, the little things. All right, those little things matter. Those little things like making sure that you put the toothpaste cap back on so it doesn't fall down the drain and now you got to get a plumber. See what I'm saying? Those little things, they seem tiny and trivial, but they're a means of taking care of ourselves and preventative maintenance. Right. Look at reclaim your power. Reclaim your power from these energy vampires, from this situation. That's what this is all about. Through these little things, these little nuanced differences, you are going to accumulate so much power, so much wealth, so much abundance. The Magician energy. Reclaiming it little by little. What does this say? Let it shine. Be you, you beautiful star. All right, this is it. That's what don't hide your nature. Don't hide your work. Don't hide your shine because you don't want the vampires to get it. That's what these boundaries are about. Look, be peace, dove spirit. No worries. Be peaceful within yourself here and know your worth. Wow. That was a powerful stack. Reminding you to keep going, keep shining, and don't let this disrupt your internal nature, right? Your internal flow. See the big picture, giraffe energy. That overarching view. All right, it's interesting, tend to the small things, but don't lose sight of the big picture. And that is really, really important here. That is really, really important because that's how they try to scoot you back in. All right? Ancestors have a closing message to help Aquarians along their path in this story here. Forget-me-nots on the bottom, and gladiola. Strength of character, moral integrity. It says, character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Helen Keller. I mean, that is, if somebody knows about overcoming, it's the beautiful, intelligent. I mean, she was born blind and deaf and trapped, right? In a space, in a world where she didn't understand what was going on around her, and she overcame that. She learned, she expressed, and she overcame. And so if she can do it, there's a message in there for you. Right? Just because we can't see what's going on, we have to learn the little bits of information. The student energy here is reiterating that for you. The forget-me-nots, internal memories, the best things in life are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you've made along the way. I got a lot of forget-me-nots in my garden. And they do remind me they're in honor of Armenia. So, that again, strength and resilience and pushing through and keeping your peace amidst it. Let it shine. Be you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Thank you for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe if this connected with you in any way, because it really does help the channel. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for coming back, and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.